Boom.
there. What? Come on. Come on.
That. All right.
Bring it. Bring it. Bring that. Who that? Who they? Yay, yay. Yay, yay. Get pussy now. That should be a thing.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Shouldn't it?
Okay. Yeah, should be.
Get pussy now. Right?
Get pussy now.
Now.
Pussy.
Now.
Now.
Now. There it is. Here we
there
are.
It is.
Ramble.
We just
Radio.
gave this song lyrics because the Ramblers chose not to.
They chose not to. They just chickened out. They just
out. Chose not
Welcome to the Ramble, a geek's guide to pop culture. We are the geeks. I'm comedian Jerry Rocha. Right there we have the one and only
to. Eddie Pence, comedian, podcaster,
Eddie Pence.
dishwasher.
Dishwasher.
I washed the dishes in the house.
Man who said good, very good, but also you used to be a line cook, right? At a Mexican
I was a line
restaurant.
cook. I rolled burritos.
And you gave, I think, do we real quick before we get into today's Ramble Radio?
Yeah.
Do we get into your advice to anyone eating at a Mexican restaurant, which is what do you avoid if you're eating at a Mexican
Avoid the sour
restaurant?
cream at all costs.
At any, doesn't matter. Just avoid it.
Any Mexican restaurant.
What
Avoid
now?
the sour
Why is
cream.
this again? Please explain why
Because
the sour
the
cream
whole
must
thing
be
is
avoided.
laid out. If you've ever been back there and seen the food line back there, it's a bunch of pans
Yes.
with different foods in them. Like you got your big pan that has the lettuce,
Yeah.
right? And you got smaller
Yeah.
pans that has the olives. You
Right.
got
Right.
the onions, the sour cream. You got everything, the chives. Everything's in a little square pan, right?
Yep.
And you have the big thing of sour cream right there, and it's sitting there under the shelf where everyone's grabbing their food and going back and forth.
So
the waiters
everything's
and
falling
waiters.
into it.
And shit's just falling in, and you see the stuff, and as the cook back there, you just stir it.
Can't have it. Can't have it.
You just stir
Can't
it.
have
You don't know what's in the sour cream.
Can't have it.
Everything
And
else you can see. Everything else you can see.
So I bet
Sour
if somebody
cream is
said-
like quicksand.
If somebody said, "Hey, I bet I got food poisoning at a Mexican restaurant," you'd be like, "Sour cream, better
Sour
was the
cream.
sour cream."
Sour cream.
Wow.
I had an allergic reaction to something I ate. Sour cream.
Sour cream. I'm not
You don't know
allergic
what's
to
in the
that
sour
normally.
cream.
It's a sour.
You don't know what's in the
Look at
sour
this.
cream.
Look at this. There it is. Eddie Penn. You can't. What other fucking podcast is going to tell you that?
Bring your own sour cream to a Mexican restaurant. That's my my advice.
What other? Can you tell me what other podcast is gonna drop knowledge like this?
None that I can think of.
Bring game the way you've just brought game.
Right?
I mean,
change
my
lives.
goodness, change lives for the
Changed
better.
lives.
Please subscribe to the Ramble. 5-star rating, positive text review. Eddie, I was about to TFP these motherfuckers, but we have a new king of the hill. Guess who's back? Back again. Dahlem's back. Tell
Wow,
a friend.
return of the Dahlem.
The return of the Dahlem can't let a challenge go unanswered. Well, Jerry and Eddie called me out, so here I am to show these kids what a 5-star rating and a positive text review looks like. For any newbies who doubt my bona fides, I was around when the podcast episode count was in single digits. It was a half step removed from Jerry standing on a street corner trying to engage strangers in debates over whether Ultra Magnus or Rodimus Prime was the bigger chump, and we loved it. I've been here so long, I knew Cody before he broke hard right, and I still think of Eddie as the new guy. Dahlem is back, and I'm taking back the award that bears my name. Woo! Look at that. So 5-star rating. If you want to email us, you could do that too. Ramble@theramblepod.com. If you want to provide lyrics to our Ramble theme song. We're on Twitter at Podcast Ramble 1, Instagram at the Podcast Ramble. Our YouTube page, you can see our gorgeous faces, lag and all at the Ramble Tube. We have our TeePublic merch store page. Thank you to everyone who's been modeling. Dude, why has it been lagging so bad these past like 5 or 6 rambles?
I don't know. Am I lagging on your end?
Fuck? No.
Am I?
I'm the only.
Okay.
Sometimes I lag, and then when I don't lag, you fucking lag. And then when you don't lag, I'm fucking lagging.
You're lagging a lot.
It's bad. It's ugly. It's just fucking.
Audio-wise, I don't think you're lagging. It's just the
audio,
video
not
that's
an
lagging.
issue at all.
No.
Video.
Now, Dahlem, for any new Ramblers out there, Dahlem is our longest reigning champion.
Longest reigning champion.
He doesn't have the most
ratings.
title reigns, but he's the longest
Right.
reigning champion of one title.
The positive
one title.
text review, yes, the longest of positive text reviews. And
I think King of the Hill is our
he might
most,
be the one who's got the most. Yeah.
I think he's got
like,
the most.
He's like the Ric
6
Flair
times,
Cena.
5 or 6, yeah.
But Dahlem's had that CM Punk run of just holding the strap for
Right.
months, just years.
The Roman Reigns run of 4 years.
The Roman Reigns that fucking that's what Dahlem is like. But man, so we got to talk business here. Dude, but before we get into that, man, I a few Ramble radios ago, I mentioned my not really feeling Rings of Power.
Sure.
But I stuck with it because I love the world so much.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I get you. That's the only reason I would watch it is because I do love the world.
It's like us with Star Wars. Anyone,
Yeah.
if we were casual fans of science fiction, we would have left the Acolyte after 2 episodes. Like, what the fuck is this?
You're like, what's happening?
Bye-bye.
I don't.
Bye.
Right.
But
right.
Acolyte was so fucking good. It was so fucking bad, but because of my love for Star Wars, parts of it I loved. And so now, because of my love for Lord of the Rings, I'm still watching Rings of... Dude, so far, here's what I can say. I'm near the end of the second season. The first season and the second season are the same thing. They're like that Commanders-Bears game for Commanders fans. The first, up until the end of the fourth quarter, you're like, God. And then...
Fuck, man.
Oh, shit! That's... It's fucking boring and stupid, and then when it gets great, it's
then bam,
God damn,
punches you in the face.
But one that has not been lagging at all, I think personally, is Agatha All Along.
Agatha,
I think that show is
awesome.
Homer after Homer after Homer, and Patty Lupone fucking made it a grand slam with this last episode.
I think Agatha up until this last one has been they get up to the plate, they get on base, then they drive the runner in every time. It's just they're just driving runners in every episode, right?
They know how to manufacture runs. They know how to manufacture.
They get guys on base and then they get them in. They hit the RBIs. They know when to sack bunt. They know what they're doing. They're getting it home, right? And then this last episode. Yeah. Bases loaded. Up to the plate. Boom. Freddie Freeman just out of the park.
Freddie Freeman. This was like a Cincinnati Red, late 70s. Just bye-bye. Yeah. I'm telling you, this last episode of Aga might have been one of my favorite television comic book things
It was so well made and so well told and edited and written.
Oh, God. Written again, and I love the callbacks. Like, because and we've talked about this, but like, you got to get Colton to read this because you got to read it. And I know I've spoiled it, but I'm going to spoil it again. And I know he's a fucking shitbag, and it just pains me to admit that Joss Whedon. Yes, he wrote the Avengers movie, the first one, which is amazing. The second one was it's
it's good.
But the first Avengers was a home run, and his work on Astonishing X-Men was nothing short of incredible.
Yeah,
and so there's this. So okay, do you mind if and I'm going to bring this back to Agatha? I promise.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Go for it.
So. But I have to touch on what I loved about his Astonishing X-Men run. So Colossus had been long dead in the comics for a few years now.
Yeah.
And this evil alien race is invading, and the X-Men have found their base in like the underground in the desert. And Kitty Pryde is being chased by these bad guys. So they start throwing bullets at her. And she phases, right? And part of her phasing, I believe, accidentally opens up this locked door, right? And then these doors open, and you see her, and she looks, and you see the bullet goes through her and then hits something and then slowly ricochets back. And then her eyes go wide, and her hand covers her heart, and Colossus is just standing there, and he just looks up and just beats the fuck out of these bad guys. Like, it was like, what the fuck? Like, no, there was no hint he was coming back. No, it was just, and if there was a hint, I missed it. It was just like, oh my! I called my friend right when I was like, oh, you gotta go pick up. Like, didn't say at the time, just go fucking buy it. And then so it turns out they were able to revive him. And they were experimenting on Colossus this entire time. Yeah. He was a prisoner. And Pride unwittingly set him free. And he just mops the floor. And then the leader of this squadron of aliens is in this little fucking rocket ship flying away. And all the X-Men are watching him fly. And they did this in one issue, Eddie. In one fucking issue. Wolverine just turns back and he smiles. He goes, hey, Pete, how's your throwing arm? And you're like, oh! And sure enough, the next panel is just Wolverine hurtling at like 500 miles an hour through the air. And you see Colossus like doing his follow through, right, on the ground. Like he fucking fastball specialed him. And so and Colossus does not have his powers. And we don't know. I forgot why. He'd lost them previously in, the story of the X-Men.
Yeah.
And so they find, they infiltrate, they go to this alien's home planet. And they're trying to figure out what the fuck did they want with mutants, right? Why were they experimenting on Colossus? And there's this scene when, like, they're arguing, and the X-Men they're being monitored, and they're like, "Well, this guy can't find out about Leviathan," and they're like, "What's no, you don't think?" And this alien's looking in the monitor, like, "What's Leviathan?" Right? Like he's angry, and then so throughout the course of the next issue, they all get captured. All the X-Men get captured, and he takes Cyclops and he kills him. Like Cyclops dies. Like the guy shoots his body into outer space, and you see Cyclops dying. And then in the next issue, he's awoken on this guy's table, right? Like on this, and he goes, and he's like, you have to tell me what Leviathan is. And then it cuts back, and here's where I tie it into Agatha. Sorry for going on the tangent, but it cuts back. Mm-hmm. And you see that moment when all the X-Men are in a room and they mention Project Leviathan. And Cyclops is in his brain. He looks at Emma Frost and he goes, Emma, link us. And so Emma just links all the X-Men mentally. And they're like, he's watching. We've got to trick him. You know what I mean? And like, we've got to say something. And one of them spits out Leviathan, Beast, maybe like, oh, that's good. Yeah, that works. And they're all like, and Wolverine's like, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to laugh. I can't do that. Like, it was a really funny scene where they're all bullshitting to trick this alien. And then they're like, well, how are we going to get inside? And Scott goes, if he thinks I know what Leviathan is, he will capture me. And he goes, we're gonna try to make a run for it. Let's get caught on purpose, right? And then Cyclops' plan was, I'm going to die, but he's gonna bring me back to life like he did with Colossus, right? Like, it was great. And so they roll the dice on this, and it works. And as Cyclops comes to on the operating table, and he tells the guy, "There's no Leviathan. We tricked you," right? And then this alien just looks at Cyclops. He goes, oh, lie, the great human invention. Any other lies you'd like to tell me? Have you been keeping from me? And then Cyclops just opens his eyes and just blasts the dude into the next fucking week. He has his powers back, and he can control him. Like he's just, so the final panel is he's just standing there, and his eyes are like smoking red. And he goes, to me, my X-Men. And it was like, oh, shit. I loved how Agatha threw a nod to that with everything with Lilia, because this whole time you've been seeing these snippets of her life, her memories, and you think she's just going crazy. Right? Like throughout the each episode, she said something like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Right. You think it's going to pay off at some point, but you don't realize that she's experienced her life out of sequence, which is crazy.
It's fucking crazy. And what makes me wonder, is she dead? Spoilers, because how would she know to give Agatha that warning unless she saw it happen?
Right.
So I don't know that Lilia's gone either.
But she says she tells the other witch, I can't think of her name, the bald one.
Yes, from SNL.
She says time does not flow like how you perceive it.
Right.
So, I mean, it almost seems like she exists outside of time.
That's what it's crazy, right? Like, And I love it, but I don't understand. Like, there's got to be something.
But the
more
witch
to
does
her.
say, "What are you gonna?" Her mom or whoever was in her coven when she's in that flashback scene says, "What are you gonna do with your time before it ends?"
Yes,
So time does end.
Time
Her
does
time
end.
does end.
So she tells Jennifer, who's Sashir Zamata from SNL, who's Jennifer,
Yeah.
and then she tells it. But she does, and then Lilia warns Patty about. So I'm like, well, how does she? I mean, Lilia warns Agatha, and I'm like, how does she know that something is going to happen if this? Because
she doesn't go past that.
Right.
Yes.
What has told her what is, and then like I thought it was just a masterpiece. Like the whole scene where she's falling in like that good witch of the East gown, and you think, was that part of when Wiccan made him sink? Right. And then you're like, no, that's the end of her life. That's when she's falling up, like she's and it was fucking epic. It was
great the way they tie it together. I mean, you've seen it before where they've told stories in film and TV out of sequence and jumped timelines and all that stuff. This weaved together in 40 minutes so well.
So it was excellent. And I mean, all the cast is just like everyone is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Like the Jennifer character's perfect. Agatha's beyond perfect. Wiccan is fucking fantastic. Like Patty Lupone's character, Lily was great. The other old lady, they were all fucking great. And then, holy shit, I thought, this whole time watching this show from, if we want to call this obvious, the extension of WandaVision. Mephisto was such a, where's Mephisto? Where the fuck's Mephisto?
Right.
Where's that? We were so worried about Mephisto that they ran the Mephisto fumblerooski and had Lady Death pick up the ball. Because
You're
fuck,
like,
Lady Death! We forgot all about Lady Death! And there's Rio, and fucking Aubrey Plaza as Marvel's Lady Death was the greatest fucking reveal. I was
amazing.
Like, oh,
because I was trying to figure out who is she?
When she says, I'm the original, I am the Green Witch. There should have been so many fucking, but
hints.
Fucking brilliant.
I mean, sure there were lots of hints. We just didn't.
Looking back, I'm excited to see, if there's little Easter eggs in the show that.
Yeah.
But we know Mephisto's out there. We know his son is out there. We know Agatha's son has existed. And now we for sure have Lady Death, and I love that.
And we found Billy. Are we going to find a Tommy? Are we going to find what happened to Tommy?
Tommy's coming. He's got to be. And I'll tell you though, can I tell you my low key? Obviously, this most recent episode was my favorite. I agree with a lot of people online. Patty Lupone, if she doesn't win a fucking Emmy for this,
dude, she was fantastic.
She was fucking brilliant, beginning to end. She was brilliant. I think my most underrated favorite moment is when they ride the brooms.
Yeah.
And Rio does a
yeah.
She does that classic witch little cackle. Right. I thought that was a great little wink. But dude, this show has been so good that I'm back to the Andor feeling of I'm not saying it's as good as Andor, but it's giving me that same feeling of I don't give a fuck what they do next. Whatever I'm expecting to see, I don't care. I don't care.
It feels a lot to me going all the way back to the first Marvel series of WandaVision, where I was I was just so into every episode. I'm like, I don't care where it goes. I mean, I have all these theories in my head, but I don't care where it goes because I'm loving this.
If everything I think is going to happen doesn't happen, I don't give a shit. I'm still fine. I'm still happy because this has been so fucking good. And it has. It's just been.
Because what they did with the Mephisto fake was just because they dropped his name. They alluded to Blackheart. They did all this stuff with Mephisto.
Rio's Mephisto, right? Rio's Mephisto. Right. Nope.
Or we thought maybe what's his face? We thought Billy might have been Mephisto or Blackheart himself. Maybe that's Blackheart.
Whew. It was just.
And they bring up Death. Damn.
Fucking great. Lady Death. What a fucking. I'm telling you, man. Agatha All Along. That and Penguin have been, I think, two shows that I'm absolutely in love with.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely, and of course you and I never had the fatigue of these kind of properties, but man, I can't imagine you not watching Penguin or Agatha, not like I'm in, I can't wait. I'm excited for the next sorry ass Batman movie because of how good this Penguin show is. Because of how good this fucking show Penguin is, I'm ready for the next Batman movie. And because of how good Agatha is, I'm like, can I just say, I guess, even though, again, I don't care, but I'm assuming we're going to see Wanda. I think that's going to be the big surprise in Agatha.
I would imagine. I mean, they've already announced the Scarlet Witch movie, I believe, coming before Secret Wars, tucked in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. So I'm assuming we're going to get some nod to the Scarlet Witch. I don't know how, but something is going to.
I hope we see Vision, too. I want the two. I would love to see the two of them. That would be fucking great. But if
maybe that's what Vision Quest is going to be about, trying to recover. I don't know. He's trying to find Wanda. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, like kind of remind her that she didn't used to be so fucking crazy, right? Like kind of bring her back. And
well, she had that moment at the end of Doctor Strange where she sort of offed herself. Yep. She's like, I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Because I got to be honest, like, I mean, if we're going there, if we're playing a game of street ball, Eddie.
Yeah.
And Dr. Doom has been picked for the other team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having her to pick. I wouldn't mind.
You need Scarlet Witch.
I wouldn't mind having her to pick. Like, okay, yes.
Unless you have Magneto or Professor X. You need Jean Grey as the Phoenix.
Jean Grey, give me Scarlet Witch. You're gonna need her big time.
Otherwise you don't beat Dr. Doom. I don't know how you beat Dr. Doom.
I don't know if they. God, the thing is, I hope this isn't a one-off thing. Because there's so many great stories you can tell with him. Like, dude, the one where fucking him and Doctor Strange went to hell to save Doom's mother from Mephisto. Yeah. And, like, Doctor Strange helped him. Like, how great of a fucking movie would that be? Who wouldn't watch that? Like, it'd be... So, yeah, it was... this most recent Agatha All Along. Now, I can't wait for you to start watching Penguin so we can start talking that.
I know. I gotta start
but see, I'm jealous of you now because you could just fucking binge 90% of it. Like you don't have to wait. You could just start watching this.
I just start watching.
Like, I watched the first 5 episodes in one showing. Like it's really good, and I am excited to see how Rings of Power ends because it got good. These fucking Jaden Daniel Hail Marys. These Jaden Daniels Hail Marys to ex-Cowboys are just fucking that's what every Rings of Power episode watching every season so far must have been like you and your fellow Commanders fans watching that Bears Commanders game. Like, are you shitting me? We had such good momentum, and then okay then.
All right, not bad. I'll take that.
Great ending. Speaking of endings. We do have contractual.
Okay. Skeletor.
Oh, boy.
I know we have Halloween coming up this Thursday. This Thursday is Halloween, and we won't be talking to you until after Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any, Halloween plans this year?
Eddie, that's a wonderful question, and I'm glad that you've asked me that. Halloween officially has been outlawed here in Eternia because too many children died eating poisonous candy or candy that turned out to be just nothing but razor blades with a little bit of sugar on top of it, things like that. There were so many dead children that they took the fun out of it and they've canceled Halloween. So I'm introducing my new holiday. It's called Queefarine, and I want all the children to dress like all the millions of queefs that I've made the women of Eternia commit. So, best queef wins, best dressed queef takes home the gold. Queefarine, get ready. And now you're wondering, well, my goodness, all the applicants, all the children that are still alive in Eternia, where could you hold such a giant, competition like this with all these children dressed as queefs? I'm sure the costumes will be elaborate. There's many magic users on Eternia. I'm sure there'll be a ton of elaborate outfits. So, where do you think we could hold something this big? Eddie, go ahead and ask. I bet you're wondering.
Where?
My man's mother's pussy.
All right. Okay. Whew. All right.
How does Cody avoid? That's the man.
I think he's doing it on purpose. Ooh,
what a lucky man he was. I mean, that's. Eddie, Cinesnob Cody, please let's right some
get
wrongs.
him on
let's get to
Rotten
Cinesnob
Tomatoes.
Pocket. Yes, today. Eddie, where can all the fine folk find you?
5 days a week, patreon.com, The Ralph Report. Tuesdays, Fridays, Ramble Radio. Wednesdays, Ramble Proper. And also on Fridays, Not Today with Jen Sturger.
Look at that.
And to get the winners, we're going to have a tiered system, of course. The winning kid, I'm going to make their mother queef. Right there in front of us. That's their grand prize. If you win, I make your mother queef. Second, third, fourth, all the way down to 17th place. They just get some of all the children who have died during all the Halloween fests in Eternia.
Glad we asked.
Yeah, glad we asked.
You can find me in the same Ramble locations. You can find Eddie and Cody. I'm also streaming games, Retro Rocha, most nights of the week on Kick and Twitch under Retro Rocha, and just my name on YouTube. Subscribe to us on all of our things. Eddie and I have comedy albums, comedy specials you can watch, YouTube channels you can subscribe to, TikTok, Instagram, everything. Find us. You know where to find us. You know where to love us. Take care. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow for a regular Ramble. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Enjoy the music.
Boom.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh. There it is. There it is. Now I can look at, was Lilia anybody in Marvel?
I don't. They pull from everything, so I would imagine.
I think she has to be, right?
I doubt they're making up characters.
Yeah, Lilia Calderu.
Calderu.
Yep, Lilia Calderu. There it is. There it is. Lilia.
Was she
I figured she would
Coven?
be around. The Witch Queen of the Romani, powerful mage. All right. Dwelling in the Carpathian Mountains. All right, well, there she is. We knew it. There had to be. We just knew.
Carpathia?
Carpathia.
That's from Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, that's right.
Vigo.
We end this thing.